for a project, this is the section that gives you the information on how you work together in a project. And I don't mean how you work together as people, but how the steps fit together in managing a project. And in this last section that you see, section 3, the project management knowledge areas, these are located in chapters 4 through 12 of the PMBOK guide. And these knowledge areas allow you to see the different areas of practice that you would use in conjunction with the process groups. So the knowledge areas and the process groups, they definitely work together in many ways so that you can see the steps of how you should take the steps in moving forward to build a solid foundation. When you're looking at projects, you're constantly having to juggle. Projects have many constraints. Specifically, according to the PMBOK guide, they have 6 constraints. The constraints that we all have to deal with in managing projects include our time, our resources, our scope, our risk, requirements, and cost. We're constantly having to juggle these. When we're looking at time, we're looking at the schedule of the time of the project itself. So not necessarily time management for yourself, but time management for the project. With resources, we're constantly looking at both human and non-human resources, such as equipment that you would need in order to accomplish the project within an acceptable range of scope of what's been agreed to. We also have our scope that we have to deal with, all the work that's necessary and only the work that's necessary to be performed on this project. Risks. What are the negatives and positives about the risks involved in our project? We could have negative risks, such as anything that could be detrimental to our project, such as the equipment. There's a risk that the equipment might not arrive on time. We also could have positive risks. So risks can be both negative and or they could be positive as well. If you have a positive risk, an example of a positive risk would simply be your equipment arrives 3 weeks early. Just because it arrives early doesn't necessarily mean you'll have the place necessary, the space to store it, as you might have otherwise. Requirements, of course. These are the heart of a project. Requirements are extremely important with regard to explicit information of what needs to be produced. Cost, of course, is also a very important piece of your project. Staying within budget, agreeing on that budget, and figuring out how you can make all of these